Hello, welcome to Evolve with Natu. My name is Natu. In this channel, we talk about a lot of things, but particularly on self-improvement, self-development, lifestyle, and many other topics. A friendly reminder, if you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly make sure that you do so. And make sure that you share this channel with your family and friends. And if you haven't gotten a chance to watch our previous episodes, kindly do so. That said, I have a very, very, very special episode today with a dear friend, a sister, and many other titles. Elianasoe, karibu sana, sana, sana. So Elianasoe and I go way, way back, and I'm extremely privileged that she has joined me today. So I know you, but the rest of the world doesn't know you, and that's why I have you here. So to start with, who is Elianasoe? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, thank you, Natu. First of all, I'm very grateful. Thank you for coming to interview me. I truly appreciate it. And I'm truly proud of you for bringing this platform where we can talk and discuss matters. And I love the way you're calling me Elianasoe, and it means you know me well. Because the world knows me Elly. Elly Kitali. That's what I say most of the time. But that's because people can't pronounce my name well, Elianasoe. But yes, you can call me Elianasoe or you can call me Elly. I'm a mother of 2 boys, Chadron and Down. I'm also a wife. I'm also a founder of Chadron Hope Foundation, but I'm also a businesswoman. I have a rental business for event, so that sums up of who I am. But I'm also a telecom engineer. Previously, I was, let me say that. I'm not now an engineer, but yeah, I was a telecom engineer. I worked for a telecom company for like 8 years. And then I think my life just changed and moved to working with Chadron Hope Foundation. But other than that, you know that I'm a golfer as well.
Yes.
I love playing golf. I think I like golf a lot because it helps me mentally. It's a game that I kind of use it to help myself mentally. So I'm really involved with golf, especially recently. But I also love traveling, hiking, and reading. So that's just about Elly.
Amen.
I don't know if you want to know more, but that's...
You know what? I'm pretty sure over the course of this interview, they'll get to know more about you.
Yes.
You've touched on a lot of things. You're a wife, you're a businesswoman, you are a golfer, a budding golfer.
I love that. Yes.
Yes, a very budding golfer. But the one important role that I think you take very seriously is being a mother. You're a mother to Chadron, you're a mother to Deron.
Yes.
2 very handsome boys. I want us to talk about the challenge of raising children, particularly children who have developmental disabilities. Our darling Chadron has autism and has Down syndrome.
Yes.
How has that journey been like as a mother?
Yeah, that's a question that I need to pause first to talk about it. You know, as a mother, we all want to do something great for our kids. We want to raise them in a certain way so that they can achieve great things in life. And in any child, you're dreaming big for any child.
Yes.
You want them to be successful, you want them to be happy. And I like that you're focused on Chadron.
Yes.
But trust me, Deron is a teen now.
Yes.
And there is another challenge that we're talking about. So just basically being a mother of any child, there's a lot of challenge. And all we want for is our children to achieve the best. Now, with raising Chadron, who has Down syndrome, and of course at the age of 3 was diagnosed with autism, it's not easy. I'm not saying it's a challenging to raise him. I enjoy being with Chadron. Chadron has changed my life a lot. I can talk a lot about him because he has really taught me values. Every day he teaches me values that I need to know about them more. For instance, one that I can share with you right now is he has recently learned he's 9 years old, but he has recently learned how to take a cup from a table and go to a dispenser and put water and drink.
Oh.
So I even you can imagine, I even just pictured that moment. I even took a video for a memory. So that was like really good. But what value does he teach me? The small things that happens in your life. you should be grateful, you should celebrate. Because you can see I'm just happy that he's just taking water. And that kind of tell me everybody can achieve their goals, but in different pace. So those are the values that he taught me. But so I know you wanted to know the challenges, but I wanted to share first the success. Because
most importantly, yes,
the success, because also, you know, he's a swimmer, right? Yes. So just making him a swimmer, it's a dream that I want my son to be a swimmer. And I remember when I was starting, I was like, will he ever learn? Because remember, he can't communicate. He, even the simple communication, leave the verbal, just the simple communication, even to point, he can't point. He doesn't have that yet. And I believe one day, in God's will, maybe he will talk, but that doesn't change that he's a wonderful son to me. So I taught him how to swim. And I was dreaming that one day he will be a swimmer, yeah? Like he may be, but you kind of feel like, well, how will that happen? And then luckily, we got a really good teacher, and he was also excelling in water as well, even in his classes. And he learned how to swim, and he's probably better than you, Natu.
I can't swim.
I saw the post. I saw the post. I was like, oh my goodness, how come you can't swim and Chadron can? But yeah, no, we are all different. So that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so he learned to swim, and he has participated in swimming competitions. But just making him to learn to swim, we had to stay in water even 3 times a week for him to just learn a simple movement of just getting him to a certain step. And the challenge that I faced was there were no professions to teach children swimming here in Tanzania. Because in Kenya we used to have, because you know, Natu, I used to live in Nairobi before I moved to Kenya. To Tanzania, to Dar es Salaam.
Yes.
So him being here as well, we managed to do something for him to get really good teachers. I think it's the story that we'll talk about Chadron Hope Foundation later with the swimming. But then that was, it's an achievement that I'm really inspired. But as a mother, I sit down and wonder, when I'm not here, because we have to be honest with ourselves. When I'm not here, how will Chadron's life be like? I want him to be independent. I want him to be successful, just like any other child. And I'm sorry if I'm getting emotional.
You know what? If you haven't noticed, I'm trying to be remove tears from my eyes, because I know this is a very emotional story for you.
Yes, I'm trying not to be emotional. But I dream the same as for Deron and Chadron. I dream the same. I want him to be independent, and I want him to be successful as well. So the challenges are there every day, up to today as we're speaking together, because in every step of Chadron's, we fight to be who he is. I remember one incident. I was taking him to. He reached 4. You know, when he reached 4, he started walking. That was
that was a milestone, I remember.
Yes, that was a milestone. So he reached 4 and he started walking, right? And I got excited because the reason it was only hospitals, 3 times, 4 times a week, hospitals. And he got a point where I felt he's a little bit independent, because I wanted to take him to the daycare center. When he was a little bit independent, he doesn't be a burden to other people. And I was ready to pay for a special need teacher to just be next to him so that he's not a burden to the center. So I approached to one of the schools that Deron went. I won't mention what the school is. And you could see the yes, oh, no problem, we will have children at the school, at the daycare. This is just daycare. Daycare is just the sitting there and enjoy.
Yes.
We will have, they said, no problem, this is in Kenya now, yeah? There's no problem, we will have, we'll have Chadron, there's no problem. And then when you ask, like, can I come enrollment, you get the answers like, we don't want you here, but we can tell you.
They don't have the courage to tell you no.
Yes. And because that school was actually on estates. In Kenya, they live in, most of the houses are in estates. So I managed to speak to another school, which is even closer. And I took Chadron there. And they were very positive with the invited us, because after realizing this one is not going to go anywhere. So they were very positive about it. And they told me, bring him here so that we can assess him. And then, unfortunately, Chadron got sick. I remember. You can see how I'm even telling this.
Yes.
Chadron got sick. So I had to take him to the hospital that day. I said, no, Chadron cannot come today, but I'll bring him tomorrow and I'll observe him because he's going to the hospital. And I think because as a mother, I was so excited that, well, he was rejected in this other one, not verbally, but at least I know he was rejected. So I was really looking forward. So he didn't get so well. I just took him to that school. He was well. I felt he didn't have a fever. He was okay. And he could walk. But I think he wasn't very active, I think, that day. So I even have a picture of him with his bag. I bought him a very nice crocodile bag, and I even have a picture for that, because every step for us it's something.
It's a milestone worth celebrating.
Yes, and I'm telling you, that value is very important. Don't wait for something big. Celebrate even small things, just as achieving to be accepted in a certain school. Celebrate. So we went to that school, and I left him there. And when I came pick him up, they told me, we are sorry, we can't have him. Yeah. Can I take a moment?
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
They told me they can't take him. I remember walking back. I was telling Chadron, it's not your fault, sir. You are fine as the way you are. You're amazing. You just don't know how to take care of you. There's nothing wrong. It's something small. It's just a school. Why am I crying about it? Why are we crying about it?
Well, we know how amazing he is as a child. And I'm not a mother yet, but I can imagine how it feels having somebody rejecting my child because he didn't choose to be born that way. He might be different from other kids, but he wasn't given a chance to be normal, whatever your definition of normal is. So I'm not a mother, but I resonate with this. I can't say I resonate with these channels, but that would be a lie, but I'm putting myself in your shoes.
Yeah.
Partly because I've also been the behind the scene aunt. I understand the challenges that you've gone through, and just to see how far you've come along as a mother, how you've helped him and helped other children, which segments us to the next question. Chadron Foundation, the place that we're in today, I don't know if you guys can see where we're at. This was a result of dreams, a dream for Chadron and dream for other children like him. Tell me, what was the thought process that went in mind when you were starting this foundation, one, and two, what are the goals that you had for this foundation?
Yeah. Guys, first, we are very sorry for being extreme.
We're crybabies.
And we have two of us, you're very crybabies.
Yes.
Yes. As I said, yeah? Yeah, so thank you for that. We will be better and professional next time. But yeah, I thought I said I'll be very, very honest with you and honest.
Yes.
Because you're my sister and my friend. And partly you've been in my journey, and you've been my how can I say, my supporting pillar in raising children. And you're also, I don't know if people know, but you're also part of Chadron Hope Foundation since day one.
Yes.
And I'm grateful for that. As we just mentioned, as we were talking about Chadron's challenge, there he is. He was rejected to school and things like that. Yeah. Let's go back. How did Chadron Hope Foundation came back about? I want to go back to 2008. When
2008?
2008.
How old was Chadron at that time?
He wasn't there.
He wasn't there, okay.
He wasn't even born. He wasn't there at all. So two friends of mine who came to volunteer here, they're from the US. They came to volunteer as teachers. They were roughly 19, maybe in 20 years. And I managed to host them, yeah? So I was hosting them and then the day they left, in fact, I don't know if this is right to be aired, but yeah, at that time in 2008, I had so much wounds myself. I was not complete as myself in terms of as a human. What am I saying is, I was a bit kind of not, I'm not taking people who have different race very well. Okay. Because I had a very bad experience as a student, and I think I was not mentally prepared for the racial issues in other countries. So I always tell people I realized I was Black when I went to university. Yes. So here my friend comes to me and say, you know what, we have a wedding and I'm bringing 2 friends to Tanzania.
And that was your wedding, or it was somebody else?
Somebody else's wedding, but our house is full. Can you host them? Can you host this friend of hers? And I was like, you know me. But anyway, because you're my friend, let's just have that. And she was a very wonderful person who kind of taught me, of course, don't judge me, because we learn in life. At that time, I was even, when I was going to school, just walking to school, people throw water on you. Someone asks you, how did you come to school when you're, I mean, how did you come to
the UK?
To the UK naked? Did you buy clothes in Amsterdam? So people don't know about Africa much. I think then it was back years. So here I am, I have to treat someone who has different race with kind and hosting them home. And I have my own wounds and perceptions of how they never...
and how they're mistreated.
Yes.
And obviously colonialisms from way back.
Yes, colonialism, it's all mixed up. And I think we as Africans, most of us, we have not healed yet. And I thank for that wonderful lady. Her name is Casey.
Casey, yes.
So she came and taught me, don't judge everyone just because of their race or whatever they are.
If they're different from you.
Everybody has a different perspective, because she has a wonderful heart. And she was only 19. And she came and volunteered and managed to bring about 20,000 books to a school and build a library.
Wow.
At 20 years. Can you imagine? And she brought me this bracelet when they were leaving.
Oh,
yes.
I always see you wear that bracelet, but I never really asked where did it come from.
Yes, they gave me this bracelet. It's written "Be the Change," and it's from Elena. They engraved the names at the back.
Oh.
But in that 2008, I didn't know.
That's 2008. I just realized when you say 2008, I had just finished university at that time. I don't know why I thought it was recent years, but continue.
Yes, and at that time, I didn't know, how am I going to be the change, right? Where's my journey? How am I going to, what does this be the change be? And then I think that time, I think you remember even Obama was coming up for a...
Yes, Obama became a president, the first Black president in 2008.
Yes, inspiring us all the way, like everything is possible. But I started trying to kind of look at things differently. Everything every kind of thing you see like a problem. What is my what will be my contribution to change? So I even tried at work. We had an issue with HRs. I managed to kind of create kind of a way to deal with the challenges we have. So I was all over, right?
You were a change maker.
Yeah, but I was all over. I didn't have a direction.
Okay, no map.
No map, no nothing. What do I want to change? Because I think you also have to have something like to focus with. And then in 2014, on September 2nd, I was told, congratulations, you have a baby boy who has Down syndrome. That was how Chadron came.
So they did not, because nowadays technology can diagnose if there's a developmental disability with a child at an early age. That wasn't your case?
Yeah, because my pregnancy was normal. So,
okay.
When it's just the news I got there, right there when Chadron was coming. And I can remember just my eyes tearing up, like, what is Down syndrome? I didn't know anything. And then they left with my son. They didn't say anything to me. And I don't think it's a news that you should tell a mother, because you have post-traumatic
depression.
That's a very hard word. Thank you for doing that. Yeah. So you have that depression after having a child. And then you're told you have a child with Down syndrome and you don't know what it is. It has features of Down syndrome, by the way. That's what they say.
Postpartum, sorry, it wasn't post-traumatic. I was just thinking in my
Yeah.
head. Before the mothers
At least
come
you
for me,
know.
it's postpartum depression.
At least you know it. I
Yes.
can't even mention it.
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah. And after that, it was a roller coaster. Like, I remember just crying. When someone comes to my room, I will quickly just take off my eyes and like just wipe my eyes and everything, and then smile. Then when you leave, I'm in depression. I was in a dark moment, Natu. I was in a dark moment. And then I one day decided that I'm gonna cry alone anymore. My husband was very supportive all this time. Like, he was just there saying, Elly, we will do this. But I wasn't getting. So I just decided that I will not cry alone. I'll cry with God. So I went to my room and started crying and praying. And in my heart, I had just saying, Elly, you're crying. I've given you a present. You are crying. So I started to repent and say, God, please forgive me for this. And funny enough, when I was here, my sister-in-law came to visit me, to visit the child, and obviously healing is a process, you know. You just say like, okay, I'm healed. No, I'm not. It's a process, right? Because every day you have a different. So as I was mentioning to her, my son has Down syndrome. I just started having tears
Again.
and he just hold my baby up and say, God, can you give me a child just like him so that I can be called a mother? I think God was just assuring me that again, that look at this as a blessing, because there are many
women who want, many parents who want children.
Yes.
And they don't have the luck to have them. And here you are, God gifted you this child. He was different, but it was still a gift. But that you were focusing on what he doesn't have versus what you already have.
Yes. And there, I think that's, I would say to many parents who have children with disability, healing is a process, and it's okay to cry because we are humans. God created these tears for a reason. So don't feel bad when you feel like you don't understand yourself, but try to find peace and try to see the positive side of having your child, because he is wonderful. He has no difference. Because I came to look at that, as you know, even previously as we were talking, there's no difference between Chadron and Darren in the needs and everything. They're almost the same. It's just that it may be challenging, but it will work out, I think, with time. Let's hope. Let's have that hope.
Amen.
Yeah. So after that, I'm healed. And then my friend, there's another friend of mine,
Juliana.
Yes, Juliana. She comes to me and say, Elly, you know, God has given you this child because I think he wants you to support these children with a disability. And I know you're very passionate and caring and you love caring for others. So maybe this is your mission. I have to tell you, when she mentioned that, I didn't feel like it was that. Because at that time, I just felt like, you know, because I was still having a lot of challenges. Because here you are reading in the Google, thanks to Google, for us who have these children, when Google is there, because we could get some resources there. I was like, you need therapies, but I don't even know where those therapies are being given, you know? So I felt like, she should just have shown me, like, just do this, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe like you, the way Natu, you're doing your Chadron Hope Foundation now, doing the water that's helping people with children with disabilities. It should have been that way. That's how I felt that way. And I think as I was continuing to heal, I started to go around here in Dar. When I was coming here to visit my parents, I used to go around because even here was even more challenging to know where are the centers in 2014.
Where the support system.
Yeah, where are the centers for the rehabilitation services. There were in many those years. But I remember one particular time I went to visit a center somewhere with, there was like a location that they give rehabilitation services, and there are many many mothers there. And then there's one therapy person who is doing it. And I was just looking at that mother who is sitting at the back. Because the therapy normally is just one-on-one. Group should be at least 5 or what, but there were so many.
So there's only one therapist for a multitude.
Yeah, like I don't know how many there were. I think more than 20.
Wow.
Because the need was there, you know. Okay. But at least it's there than having nothing.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah, it's better than nothing. Yes, exactly. So we were doing that therapy, and then this young girl came to me and asked me, Elly, do you think my son will get better? Because I'm all alone. My husband has left me. The in-laws believe that I've cast this baby. I'm the witch, or the beliefs that we all know about them. I don't even need to mention much. And even her own family, unfortunately, her own mother abandoned her. Wow. She was so young, like I would say maybe 16 or 17, maybe. I don't know. She was very young. And I thought of my struggles with all the supporting system. And here I'm meeting a young woman who has no any support system. I felt like we need to be the change. This is it. What else? We need to be the change. We need to start changing our communities to embrace these children, to embrace these families, and to create a supporting system that will support even when we are not here. I think that lady is the one who actually put that spark in me, like, you have to do something. And from there, I think I started calling you and the rest of the board that we had. And we started Chadron Hope Foundation with a vision first. We wanted to sensitize our community to embrace people with disability, to show that they also have important individuals in our community who contribute widely to support our economic growth in our countries, and to remove to debunk all the bad myths,
all the myths,
the negative myth about, yes. So that was one of the goals. The second was to create rehabilitation services so that children can come for therapies and be able to live and to gain their independence. But we're also focusing on education. I think you realized when we were talking previously about children's having an issue.
Yes.
So we want to create a system that create inclusiveness in all aspects, from healthcare, from education, and even work and social life. The dream for Chadron Hope Foundation is big. If we speak about it, we have a huge vision. Like, we really wish they live independently. That's the dream. That even if a parent is not there, this child will have a meaningful life. He will get all the support and care and all the basic needs that he needs without. That's the dream. But it has not been easy, because I think we all know that we dream big, and then there's also that thing that I think we always joke about it: capital.
Lack of capital.
Lack of capital. It's something that infrastructures and everything. So lack of capital and resources. So 2018, I thought I would call some friends. I said, you know what? We contribute for billions for weddings, 107. This will be simple. I'll call my friends and we'll make the money and have the center and build this wonderful facility. Children will come, we'll open this facility at this area in Bunju, in Goba, Tandika, in Dodoma, everywhere, even in every district if we can. I thought that would be the journey that easily, but
boy, were you surprised.
I was surprised. So, but I'm grateful still. I'm not saying that I got a huge support. Where we are, first, I have an amazing board. So they worked with nothing to get us here. No resources. We just know we have something, we want to fix it. So I had an amazing board, and then I have an amazing community of friends. And slowly we've started building this community that together we want to address this challenge. And I believe we're still continuing to build that community. So that helped us to get where we are. So we registered Chadron Hope Foundation in 2018, and here we are today at the facility.
You know, it's been, this is probably one of the things I always tell you in person, over the phone, and I get to tell you this in front of the cameras, how much I am proud of you for studying, because I was there when this dream was just, this was just a dream. It was a dream. And one of the things that people don't know about you, you're very persistent. You have a vision, you go for it. You're not like most of the last ones that I know. You kind of touched, sorry, last ones. You kind of touched on this being a rewarding journey, but also successful. So let's talk about that. Starting a foundation is not an easy feat. And if I must say, starting a foundation in Tanzania, we have a great government, we have a great support system. However, we have some challenges as a country. But there's some good things too. So let's start with the good things. What has been the achievements so far and the challenges? Because with everything, the challenges are always there.
Okay, so achievements, first of all, this is a very wonderful country to start a non-profit organization, because our community, our mindset is helping others. We have been raised in a ujamaa.
Yeah.
And that is something that I have to, I don't know how, what's the word? Kiingereza kimetoka hapo.
And like, for our audience, we're going to be speaking English and Swahili. I should have probably said that earlier.
So I wanted to say, like, you know, there are two sides.
Yes.
Two sides of ujamaa.
Yes.
Ujamaa is good, and also it's maybe not very good.
It has its detriments.
Yes.
Kuna shida zake.
Kuna
changamoto.
Yes. But ujamaa has really helped Chadron Hope Foundation, because we came as a community. If you have 500, 1,000, let's come together and make this vision reality. So the one thing that I'll bank as my achievement is the people that we have managed to connect at Chadron Hope Foundation. I don't know how many, because there are too many. From the media people that we interview, like the team that you are with today here, this is my community already. I believe so.
Amen.
And there are wonderful medias that in Tanzania have really supported this vision to where we are, right? And we have managed to have families, Vikoba, Vikundi, they come here and support us. The parents, I want to mention the parents even first as well.
Are these the parents
the
of
beneficiaries?
The beneficiaries.
The beneficiaries are so, they're the first people who support me. They're the ones who give us the energy. So I want to make that achievement, connecting to wonderful parents who also are supporting this mission even when they have nothing. You tell them, come here. They don't even have transport, but they still come. That's an achievement for us. So having that community first, I would bank it as one of our first achievements. The second achievement I would talk about is the collaborations that we've managed to achieve. That is, we've managed to collaborate with Global Down Syndrome Foundation. This is an organization in the US that we've managed to ask them to support us with medical guidelines for people with Down syndrome. And we're working with the Ministry of Health that if we manage to go to complete this task, we may have resources all over the country that talks about Down syndrome, from prenatal, how do we say it? How did that come out?
Pregnancy,
inception, up to adulthood. Yes. So yeah, from that, we will have that resources. And remember, when we talked, I told you when I had my son,
I found out on the day he was born.
He was born, and there was nothing. I was given nothing.
And if you don't mind sharing, where was Chadron born?
He was born in Nairobi.
You were in Nairobi, okay.
Yeah.
So this, okay.
Yeah, so here we're talking about East Africa,
East
but
Africa.
our problems are probably the same.
The same, okay.
Yeah. So for me, if someone had just handed me even a pamphlet, what Down syndrome is,
yes,
would have been something. Even it wouldn't be. I wouldn't say that would help a lot because I say healing is a process.
Is a process.
Even as today, as we speak, it's still a process.
Still healing.
Yeah,
but I think in the interim, it would have probably helped you for that short period of time.
At least you get something to talk about it. So imagine that resources will be available all over the country if we are successful with that, because there's still the success of getting the support from the government, which they are very helpful. Yes, so that collaboration is really one of the achievements that I would really say highlight. Yeah, and then we have managed to partner with like-minded organizations here locally. Like we managed to partner with even Tanzania Para-Swimming Association, and we managed to create this wonderful swimming program where children with neurodevelopmental disabilities learn to swim. And even at Chadron Hope Foundation, we train children how to swim. So we are starting to give those services. But we also achieved to support families. With the little we have, we once offered health insurance. And then we do have this Draw Your Dream program where we have this wonderful art that is...
Chora ndoto yako for those who speak Swahili.
Yes, and it's called Chora ndoto yako, by the way.
Yes.
Yes. So the idea was just first to give an opportunity for children to enjoy who they are, and they come with their siblings as well. So we have wonderful art stacked in our...
I actually was able to see some of the art. Really, really beautiful art.
And we hope that we will host the first exhibition that will have. That is one of our goals. Also do the art exhibition. So that is in line. So I find that is achievement that we have started making that progress. But even just having this facility,
that in itself is an achievement.
It's an achievement that you've come here previously, my friend.
I remember when we as board members were sitting and arguing for budget for you to be upgraded from the little office that you have to...
You saw the file.
Yes.
And I like that we had that. Yes. Because it just says we were struggling even with the budget, but we've pulled
started from the bottom.
Exactly. There are times I'm like, mtoto wa mkulima to do this.
Ina challenges zake, tumetoka
mbali, yes.
Here you are.
Here we are. So that is one of the achievements, the center itself. I would love to see this growing from here to other areas, because as you've seen today, you saw a mother who came here, her child got some services with us, and she also got some services. I want it to be a therapy place. I want parents to come here and talk and sit and feel and talk and air out, get like counseling, some kind of counseling. So the dream is still big. But also other achievements, we managed to do mental health sessions with parents, seminars, workshops. So we have done, in these 6 years, we've done a lot. I would say we have reached a quite number of beneficiaries. And now our center has a capacity of doing at least 200 sessions of therapy per month. But we want to increase that capacity as well. So there are many to talk. And we had children who have neurodevelopmental disabilities, autism, participate in swimming galas. They did participate in 4 sessions, and one was with Tanzania Para-Swimming Association. 4 were selected to be in the national team. And they're still building them so that they can participate in the international and national competitions. So you see, we are already trying to kind of to include them in the services. And another achievement is awareness that we've managed to create. Like right now, you can hear a lot of inclusiveness. People are trying to see how to navigate inclusive schools, inclusive workplace. So we have started like having this mission as a country together to kind of create an environment that includes every person, regardless of their condition. We don't leave anyone behind. So I think at Chadron Hope Foundation, we have a lot to mention, but maybe those are few that I can highlight.
Amen.
Yes.
Now we've talked about the good things. With every story, there's that the so not great things.
The
challenges. I like to call them challenges because we rise above them. How are they? What are they?
The challenges, as I said before, from
Mtoto wa mkulima.
Well, my parents are not wakulima. They're scientists, but I would just mention them mkulima because I think it's easy when you have resources, yeah?
And when you say resources, are you talking manpower? Are you talking finances? What exactly do you mean by resources?
What I'm saying is, I think both.
Both, okay.
Yes. First of all, I don't think money solves everything. That's one. But with that being said, money is very important.
Money is important.
Money is important. So funding, just to start the organization, yeah, it was very challenging. Where are we going to get the fund to do the registration, to hire to rent this office space, to pay the staff and everything? How do you start? So funding was one of the issue. And for us, as I said, we started Chadron Hope Foundation on Chadron's 3rd birthday. So we called our friends, and Ujamaa, they started contributing for this organization. So that's how we overcome then. But the organization is still continuing. So it still needs funding all the time. So that is a challenge. That is the first challenge that I think for me has been one of the
ongoing challenges.
But how we are trying to solve it is we are trying to build a community. First, we are trying to get our own people, our Tanzanian people, to join the mission. So we have friends who contribute 500 shillings, 1,000, 100,000 monthly, some of them yearly. So those small contribution that we get make a huge impact for us. So that is a progress. But we are also trying to seek for grants. And now, because we don't have professionals, I'm an engineer and writing is not my cup of tea. So most of the time we try to find volunteers. So volunteers helps us to kind of address those kind of challenges that maybe if you can't hire someone comes to volunteer. So we've been having volunteers. But
that's just on a short-term basis.
That's a short-term basis. So sustainability, we still need to work.
Have some there full time.
And I saw this as we were trying to start foundation. I think you were in the board and you heard us were talking about it. The reason we also wanted to create the services, we wanted them to be available for everyone. So accessibility, yes, and everyone can access them regardless of the background you came from. But we wanted those who can afford to pay for the services we offer. So Chadron Hope Foundation, we managed to start giving those services. Those who can afford pay. That payment that they give us is what helps us to reach out to those who can't afford. So that model kind of helps us also to address the same issue, funding, but it still needs, because even, for instance, the services that we offer here, that we are offering here, therapy sessions. Normally, a true value for a therapy session is 70,000 an hour. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes,
70,000. So I'm thinking of 70,000, and I'm thinking of normal Tanzanian. And by normal, I know normal is subjective, but I'm thinking of my relatives maybe in Usangi or Lushoto who maybe are farmers who their daily income might be 10,000, 20,000. How do they come up with that 70,000?
Okay, so when you're offering that service 70,000, it's not like people are not considering them. There's a professional that needs to be paid.
I understand that.
Yes.
I understand that.
So that will cover for that professional. There's a space that you have to pay for it. The equipment, our children needs equipment. Yeah. And even if it's a facility that needs those children to stay, for children with additional needs, you need maybe one caregiver, one child. That's costs. Yeah. So here at Chadron Hope Foundation, we offer those services for 25,000 per session.
Okay, so you have subsidized them significantly.
Yeah,
because that's
any
more than a half of a discount.
yes.
And the reason why I think I should probably clarify why the 70,000 figure is a bit worrisome. I know that's the fee, but why don't we have the support system around maybe institutions? And I don't want to point any fingers because our country is already doing a lot, but are there any like supports maybe from the government to help subsidize these things? Any institutions maybe?
The bracelet says be the change.
And you're the change that you want to see.
And you're also the change who are viewing us today. You are also the change.
Amen.
Before thinking of the government, before going to that step of the government, what can we do together? Remember, we can do wonderful weddings, kitchen party.
Absolutely, and I've contributed to some.
Yes, but can we not come together and support our government and do it? That is what I think before we skip.
We look at the government, look at the grassroots.
Yes.
What are we doing as the change?
Are the change makers. So for me, before I start talking about the government support, and I know we truly want that because we have seen it in the other countries. Like I've managed to visit my siblings. Yeah, they live abroad. And I don't know, it just came out. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. It's not like I wanted to mention all those things, but you see the services, they are quite different. But we can't forget the kind of economic level that they have.
Yeah, they started somewhere.
They started somewhere in the taxation system because they pay tax. Everybody pay taxes. But here I am, probably asking my government, what have they done? And I'm not paying tax.
Yeah.
So, and our excuse is always, what do they do with it? But first do that, pay.
Yes.
Be the change, right?
Be the change. I think it was John F. Kennedy who said this, and I'm paraphrasing. Instead of asking what your country can do for you, ask yourself, what can you do for your country? So you've said it really, really well. And I'm glad that you pointed out the achievements, and the achievements were way longer than the challenges.
Yeah.
And you even spin the challenge. You say, yes, funding is an issue, but you found a positive angle to it. Let's mobilize the community. Let's collaborate. Yes. And I wish most of us can hear that message, that just because something is a difficulty doesn't mean that there's no solutions around it.
Yeah. And just adding to that, it's important that if we come together as a community, supporting these initiatives together. It doesn't have to be Chadron Hope Foundation, anything around your community. Let's have that mindset of seeing the vision of someone and support them. I do that as well. As part of Chadron Hope Foundation, but I also try to do where I can. So I think we should have that mentality of supporting each other. I think that would really help us. And when I come to the government, because you mentioned that.
The government, yes.
I really hope that the government will continue to collaborate with us, and we sit together and find a solution that we truly work with it with one heart, thinking that I'm here for me. This is how I think. Every time when I'm having the most challenging decision to make, I always ask myself, if this was my last day in this earth, what would I choose? Especially when it comes to those challenges that involves you to do not the correct thing. Yeah. So I wish we create, we change our mindset and we try our very best to do what we're supposed to do. Because for sustainability, we need the government to control this, to create that supporting system because we are not all the same. Yeah. Because most of these things, if everybody could have paid 70,000, or 25,000, they would. But I didn't choose to be who I am today, Natu. I know you didn't choose to be who you are today. So we shouldn't look down to people who can't afford those services and feel like, okay, maybe they're not working hard enough, or maybe then there's a story maybe behind it that we don't know. Yeah. But what can we do to make a better world for everyone? For everyone.
So
not, yeah, because here you're just talking about individuals with disabilities, but there are also people who have become elder who don't have any support, elderly, yeah. So the system needs the government, but to get there,
we need to start the churches, changes at the grassroots level.
Each and everyone, from me and you. That's why I started with me and you. So we really need that community support. If God has gifted you with a certain talent, offer that service for free maybe one day. But obviously, we know that you can't have things for free because you will not, it can't be free services all the time because you also have your other issues to take care of. You have bills to pay, so it can't be all the time. But when God can give you that opportunity, offer the services. Even if you don't have money, then offer your time. So I think we need to start creating that challenge. That mindset. Yeah. And another challenge that I probably need to mention is of course, with funding is one, but also finding professionals who work with our children. It has been a very big problem. So, but addressing that, we are trying to train. Like you remember, we did the swimming training course. So we are trying to address through training, but we are grateful our government has now even put efforts, a lot of efforts to change that. So for me, I'm looking at the future very positively.
It's bright. It looks bright. I think you and I were talking earlier, and you had mentioned that the government has opened a program at Muhimbili, and now they offer occupational therapy as a course.
Yes.
So I think that's one of the things that things are moving in the step in the right direction.
Just let's take one step at a time. Yeah, let's take one step at a time, and that's where we're heading.
Amen.
Yeah.
I came here early today before we have this shot, and I witnessed a mother with a young boy, and I got a little bit emotional looking at the other children too. You as a mother, her as a mother, and I am as a person looking outside in, what message or what advice will you give, one, for us people who maybe haven't been in that situation? How can we support? How can we be more welcoming? Because growing up, we didn't see maybe a lot of children with Down syndrome. We didn't see a lot of children with neurological disability, autism. Autism is becoming slightly rampant. Same for Down syndrome. We don't have the knowledge. We don't have maybe the funding. So if you had to educate people on how can we make this world better, what support can we give? In layman's term, what would you say? Well, here in Tanzania and maybe even globally.
Okay, so for me, I think the advice that I'll give first, just show that you want to support from your heart, right? And it's not easy to mention what kind of support we need, but I think the best support that everyone can do is to embrace these children together. The best support that you can help us is create a community, right? That can help this mother and child have a system that they can be independent without depending on you. Because I think most of the time our support, when you talk about support, you think of bringing food and clothes and showing that you've actually given food to this person. But I think the best support is to give that person an independence so that they can earn their own food. They can earn their own. So imagine if the government was able to give maybe a certain amount of money to the families who can't completely get a job because you see, like the mother who came, you saw her, her husband has already left. He abandoned her. And the child hasn't got enough therapies. So that is not even easy. And she has tried to take them to school, but the school has to ask them to take him out because he's not manageable.
Yes.
So how does she manage her business? So the support, if there was a system you, who is an outsider, you have created, that would help this mother to leave even that child for 4 hours, even 6 hours, and engage in economic activity, that is a continuous support. But what do you do right there when you meet? Because that's a sustainable support. Those are the things that I think we should think more. I would want in the long term. But in the short term, you meet. I think sometimes you might say things that you think may be positive, and you might say they might not be correct. Yeah. For instance, how can I don't know how can I put it? You know, you're trying to say to someone who is going through difficult moments, and this is my vision, maybe it's my person, I don't know, but I've seen a lot of mothers mentioning it as well. And you say, you know, it's easy to say Mungu amependa, usilie, unalia nini? You're not giving the moment of them to take it out. Just you're thinking you're helping, but maybe she's in a deep thing, and you don't know what she's going through.
I remember telling a friend she had lost her dad, and I was like, well, at least your mom is alive. And I look back, and she was like, and she was very kind to tell me, no, like I've still lost a person. Just because I have a mother doesn't mean my dad will come back. So I'm glad that you're correcting us, because at that point in time we're thinking we're comforting you, like mshukuru Mungu, because you're forced to look at the positive side, but at the end of the day you still have these feelings that you have to deal with.
At least you have a child, some don't have.
Yes.
And there's things like those. Yeah, but yes, I know you're trying to reinforce the positivity, but I think the best thing is the best advice I would say, probably say, I don't know what you're going through, but I'm here to support you. I'm here to listen.
I'm here to empathize.
Yes, and listen more. Listen, and don't advise much.
I think especially for us Tanzanians, we're very good at giving advice, unsolicited advice. Yes.
Just try to say, you know what, I don't know what, unless you know that you're comfortable, but I say just listen. That person just want to hear you. To just lend out your ear. That's what they just listen.
I think one person once taught me, when somebody comes to vent to you, sometimes maybe even go an extra step. Are you looking for an audience, or are you looking for advice? Before you start giving people your unsolicited advice. But if you can ask that question, maybe keep that in mind. So thank you for reminding me of that. Yes. So that's in the short term.
Yes. Yeah. So that's one. And number two is just don't, sometimes especially children who does not show a physical disability, like you cannot say the children are disabled. Sometimes someone might say negative thing, like you're not looking after a child, you're not caring, he's too naughty. But that child is just the way he is. So don't like you're being uncomfortable for that child to be that way. Try as much as possible. I know maybe, but try as much as possible to be comfortable, because you don't know their story. Most of the time we tend to think you know how to raise that child better. This woman does not know how to raise their child, that's why he's so naughty. But you don't know what he's going through with that child. Maybe the autism makes them sometimes very hyper. So it's not like we don't want to shout at them. It's not like we're not disciplining them.
But the shouting isn't the solution.
Exactly. But people, the way we're raised, we are being raised to believe that you have to discipline your child. Maybe you're not disciplining them enough, but this is their condition and we are trying to manage them differently. So it's something that I would probably advise as a short term.
I would add my 2 cents, but this is not my platform to say anything. I recently encountered something like that, but you've said it really, really well. In the interest of time, I'll move to the next question. You have successfully run Chadron Foundation for 4 years now, 6 years.
Yes.
Thank you for correcting me. 6 years. Look at me shortchanging. It feels like 4 years because it's been quite a ride. For people who are looking at Chadron Foundation, what are the initiatives that you're working on? Short-term and long-term, that's number one. And number two, I'm touched to support this foundation. How can I go about making sure that I'm supporting this foundation to grow, to realize the goals that it has, to touch the multitude of children, families in Tanzania, and hopefully maybe grow beyond Tanzania, because I like to think you have greater visions. But we're starting at Tanzania first and foremost, Dar es Salaam, and then other parts of Tanzania. Somebody's looking to support you. One, what are the initiatives that you're working on? And two, how can they go about supporting you?
Yes. So there are 4 areas that Chadron Hope Foundation will focus on. First is creating awareness and reducing stigma. I think the English is correct there. But yeah, so That's the first thing that we're working with. We want to create a community that embraces children with disability, not only in Dar es Salaam, but even in Kijijini, where we grew up, Kikombo, where I was born, in the village. So our goal is just to first sensitize the community, so that we can embrace these children to reach their potential. And our dream is for them to live an independent life. So our short-term goals is create awareness. If a parent does not accept the condition of her child, the services, she will not strive well with the services. Because first of all, our children, they take time to learn. Chadron took about 60 lessons of swimming to be a swimmer. Yeah, it takes time. Well, another child can come 5-10. They've already reached. So a parent, if you're not mentally and physically well, they will not achieve. So our goal is to ensure that we support parents mentally, physically, and economically. That's the dream. So that they can be able to support their children. Yeah. Women economic empowerment. And I'm touching that base because we find mothers who have been abandoned, many of them. I think probably in 10 mothers that I meet, 8 maybe don't have their
spouses or partners.
Yeah, partners. So we want to create a sustainability. So our vision is we want to help them be able to become economically independent, regardless their setting, circumstances, yes, so that they can be able to take care of them, of their children. So that is areas that we want. Those are basically what Chadron Hope Foundation is aspired to address. But in the long term, we wish this center not to be only here at Bunju where we are. We wish we could go all over Tanzania, whether it's through partnership, collaborations. We want to leave no one behind, right? So that is the dream. And probably one day we'll have our own headquarters, like the UN headquarters that we normally see.
Yes.
Yes. Maybe it has it's a first children's hospital, educational, school, maybe a good school, and maybe medical institutes. So that's the long-term vision. That is the vision that we dream. How can I say it?
The aspiration.
The aspiration, yes. So that's the dream. But the short terms are the ones which I mentioned earlier. And how can you support? There's so many ways to support. Number one, just be our ambassador. Tell someone about this organization if you're inspired with. Tell your friend that about this organization. That's one. Number two, you can join our mission. There's so many initiatives that we do online. Follow our Instagram page, learn about our work, join our mission. Like right now, we are going to climb Mount Kilimanjaro for Down syndrome awareness in July.
Can you tell them exactly which date in July? And I know summiting takes 7 to 8 days, depending on which
period.
So which date is that initiative starting?
So it's starting on 5th to 12th.
5th to 12th, so it's a 7 day?
Yeah, it's a 5th to 12th.
7 to 8, okay.
Yes. But some of us, we are going early on 3rd for acclimatization.
Okay.
So July 2024.
Okay.
And our goal is to raise awareness about Down syndrome.
Okay.
But we also want to raise funds that will support therapy at the center, because, there's some therapies here, we offer them at 2,500 shillings, leave the 25,000. For parents who are not economically well, we are offering them at 2,500 Tanzanian shillings. So that will subsidize the fundraising. The money that we are going to raise will subsidize those therapy services. And we also hope we'll raise enough money to also start our economic empowerment program for the mothers who are in an economically challenging background. So that's the goal with Kilimanjaro Challenge. So how you can support us on our website, there are links. If you're outside the Tanzania, there is even 501. You can get the tax relief. You can, all the information are there how to support. But you can also support us through our M-Pesa and Lipa Namba. They're all in our websites.
I'll make sure I link those on below this video on the YouTube channel. So check on the description. You'll see the links of where you can support this foundation. So the M-Pesa and the links to the website and also the Instagram page.
Yes, we have Lipa number. And the most, if we would like their support to be our family, like if you join our family, that's the huge support. So you can also join CHF family and you can either volunteer your time, you can volunteer expertise, you can either reach to us and say, what do you think? Because you can have great ideas that you can share with us. So we are a very open-minded organization. So you can easily talk to us if you feel like there's something that you can add value to this course. And we are very open to and welcome all those who have such ideas. So that's one way that's how you can support Chadron Hope Foundation.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you covered it because I was hoping every year you usually have these initiatives, the Chora Ndoto Yako. This year you have the Kilimanjaro. We usually have the auctions. We're planning for a gala once a few years back. These are ongoing initiatives annually, but there's other ways that people can support you. You don't have to necessarily maybe contribute financially if you don't have the means, because not everybody can contribute. There's your time. You can join the board. You can be part of the team. Now, this interview is almost about to end, but before it ends, I want to know personally, we've talked about the foundation, we've talked about how you're looking to support other people. For Elly, what do you see for yourself in the next 5 years, 10 years?
That's a very pop-up question.
Yes.
Yeah, where do I see myself? Honestly, what I believe is what I do today will determine what I am in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. And I have big dreams. I want to inspire others to be the change. That's my major goal. Because if I inspire others to be the change at their settings, it would change our community. I want to see my country growing. One thing that probably people don't know, when Dominic is our communication guy, when he takes a picture and sends a picture that shows a little bit of poverty in those pictures, I'm on him and say,
there's more to Tanzania than poverty.
And it happens because it's our setting. We can't run away. That's the truth. But I really want not people to contribute to our organization because they think we are poor or poverty is the cause. No, that's not the cause. It's because we want to do the right thing. We want to create a system because I could be Chadron today and Chadron could be Elly, right? Yeah. So it's the right thing to do, to support others. So for me, if I manage to change and I say, I inspire others to be the change. In the next 5 years, I kind of inspire even other people to be the change so that we see in every different aspects, like our hospitals are improved greatly in terms of services, our people are being paid well, because one thing that I can mention as a country we need to work on is our salaries are not
they're not competitive.
Yeah, they're not competitive and they don't go as the economics.
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
So they're not reflective of the economical situation, inflation. So while the rest of the things, the prices of food has gone up, our salaries haven't gone up yet.
Yeah, I'm not an economist, but I think there's somewhere we didn't balance well. So that has caused, every time when you want to do something, there's like a favor you're being asked, like, which is, we call it a favor, but it's corruption.
It's corruption.
Well, let's say it. But this person has to pay a private school millions of money, or hospitals or what, and they don't have that money. So maybe if every one of us, we can be the change, we can bring our economic up and we can pay people well, and we don't have to worry for this 20,000, 30,000. So for me, as I say, if I manage to bring change to our community and inspire others to be the change, that would be like, I have achieved something. And if you are so interested to know with Chadron Hope Foundation, I think I've mentioned it. I wish I could see we have, but not in, it might not be realized in 5 years. But even just seeing this for me is already progress, just to see this building right there and we have a center, it's there. But if we could do something that leaves a legacy that we were here, we tried, and you can also do it. Just we were nothing, and we managed to build this. So that's the vision that I see for myself.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. My sister, as I always call you, this has been a very emotional episode. I expected that I was going to be emotional, but I did not expect to cry on camera. Thank you so, so much, one, for being vulnerable to share this journey. As I said, growing up, I did not see a lot of children. I think I only knew one child who had Down syndrome, but she was constantly being hidden. We never really played with her. And I also recognize maybe the challenges that the parents had, and that's why they didn't feel comfortable sharing their journey. So I think, one, you coming out here and being open about this journey, I think you're also going to encourage other parents who are on the fence. I know people who have people who have children who have neurological disabilities like autism. Instead of them maybe seeing a specialist, they're like, you know what, tutamwamini Mungu, tumombe Mungu atabadilika, atafanya nini. God is there, God is great, but however, we need to look for other support. So you are living proof that you believe God, but there's also other things that we need to do. So thank you immensely. And I cannot tell you how proud I am of you, how far you've come, not only being selfish to look after your own child, but all these children, all these families that you're supporting. And most importantly, thank you for gracing Evolve with Natu. It's been a pleasure. It's been an honor. Asante sana 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 na nakupenda.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, and thank you.
Thank you. This was wonderful.
It was.
Yes.
And until next time, before I cry again on camera, thank you so much for tuning in with Evolve with Natu, and have a lovely day. Bye-bye.